back. Season 3, Episode 3 of the Restoration Club podcast. You're back in the clubhouse now. Danny, we have been getting after it in Season 3 already.
Season 3 is coming in hot, man. We've had some solid guests, and this is the same.
Yeah, it doesn't stop. I think when you're doing something good, everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon. You know what I mean? We're the hottest thing in the game right now. So we're excited. We've got a guy here join us in the clubhouse, Josh Baldwin. Everybody give it up for Josh Baldwin in the crowd. But Josh, thanks for spending some time with us. We're excited about hearing about just life, your journey through whatever it is you've always been through. We're not going to unpack your whole life, but we want to really get to the part about how you fell in love with golf too.
Yeah,
and
I love that.
Through some of that. So
it's so good to be here. It's so refreshing to be here. Honestly, this is fun. Yeah,
I love that. I see it branded up with a golf brand.
I like an album going.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pretend like I didn't plan half this outfit. I wear this hat all the time. No, this has nothing to do with y'all or golf. I wear it all the time. But I did throw on the hoodie because I was like, if I'm gonna be on a golf podcast, I gotta throw on everything. I even have my
Jason Day-esque.
Yeah. I know. I was so proud of him for signing.
Awesome.
I have my clubs up here. I got my little practice putting. Perfect practice. Or
there you go.
Practice.
Nice.
What is it? It's the thing.
It's a great
DJ.
Yeah. And then I'm sure you got a simulator around the corner right there.
I wish I would tear all of this. I would take all these guitars over here and everything. I would take them all down and put a simulator up right now if I could. Which I guess I could. I shouldn't.
Speaking of that, let's keep the music going. You've had a pretty fair run in this game and have been leading people. But for I'd love to believe that everyone in the world knows Josh Baldwin. But besides the music piece, why don't you give just us a little small bio, just who you are?
Yeah. Okay. Wow. I'm from North Carolina. I'm from I'm a stone's throw from where you two are right now. And I was there until I was 35 years old and just grew up. I'm a PK, pastor's kid. I was literally born on a Sunday and in church the next Sunday. That's
the definition of an ingrained right there.
Yeah. I mean, that's like a Southern joke, but in my case, it's actually true. I asked my parents and they're like, yes, that's true. But yeah, I grew up in church and grew up loving music too, and started playing music in my teens and then started leading worship a lot in youth group and young adults kind of ministry stuff. Went to college and then dropped out because I never went to class. You said the small version. I was like going through. I'm diving in, but
let's get in there.
Yeah, I went to Lee University in Tennessee. I was on academic probation, but I love Jesus. Like I didn't do anything. I wasn't like any story like that. I didn't get into drugs or anything like that. I just didn't go to class. I hated school, but I would stay in my dorm room and play guitar and listen to worship music and write songs and then also play sports. My sport growing up was basketball. That was like my favorite. And we can get into the golf stuff. I grew up in golf too. I didn't play it in high school or anything, but I grew up playing golf. We can talk about that later. But I was in college. I dropped out. I went to ministry school, realized like, actually, I think I just need to go this path. I don't need college necessarily. And so, I've been leading worship. I was leading worship for like 10 to 15 years. And then in 2015, I joined Bethel Music, which is a worship movement and a label that actually started just out of a church in Northern California. And I had connections with some friends there, actually some mutual friends of ours, like the Volks. We were talking about Ryan. And so I joined Bethel Music 11 years ago, moved to Redding, California in 2015. And that was crazy because I was 35. I'd lived in North Carolina my whole life, other than the 2 years that I was on academic probation at Lee University.
So now it's really easy to tell your kids to like stay in school, focus at school.
Yeah, no, yes. It's funny. It's like nowadays, I think back then in the late 90s, it was like college was whether you like it or not, that was like the next step. It was like, go to college, you have to go to college. Not that you shouldn't go to college. You should go to college but I think now we've come around to where it's like, hey, go to college if you know what you want to do.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
don't just go waste your time and waste your money and all that.
Yeah, if you want to be a doctor, I need you to go to college.
Right.
But
There's
like,
things
if
that you
wanna
need
be
to
an
go to
entrepreneur,
college for.
Let's go get in business. that
Right.
kind of stuff.
Yeah, totally. So, but we were out in California for 6 years and still a part of Bethel Music. I'm now in Franklin, Tennessee. We moved here 4 years ago. And that is the Reader Digest version. But
Yeah.
I'm still a worship leader.
Yeah.
That I just happened to I had some songs get on the radio and things kind of took off.
Yeah. For those of
And,
you who are
yeah.
under the age of 40, Reader's Digest is
Yeah, seriously. I was like, I didn't think about that.
I do love a good Reader's Digest.
Yeah.
Don't get me started. But no, that's cool. You know, I didn't know that you were still, I guess, a part of the Bethel.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Ecosystem? I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Movement, community.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's awesome.
Church. Yeah. I'm still, they're my label, the Bethel Music label. And that's mostly what it is right now too. I mean,
Cool.
I still go out there every once in a while, lead worship,
Yeah.
but still do things. But yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love
Josh,
it,
I was
man.
going to say on that vein, just out of curiosity, coming from Carolina,
Yeah.
like one, did you ever see yourself moving to something like a Reading into the situation that you found yourself in? And you were already married and I think already had kids and not,
Yeah.
maybe not. Like, what was that transition like of just changing, picking up and moving across the country?
Yeah. No, it was kind of crazy. I mean, I was at a small church in downtown Charlotte that we talked about. I think we met there. And then my kids were 3 and 2. I had a 3-year-old daughter and 2-year-old boy. And yeah, it was kind of crazy. When I joined Bethel Music, the whole thing was like, they weren't asking me. I didn't have to move. That wasn't the thing. Actually, the beauty of the whole thing was I could be a part of this, you know, this worship movement and have this avenue to, like, I was writing songs but I was writing songs in our little church of like 100 people maybe, and just that I loved. But we started to feel like, man, there's something on these songs and there's something on what I'm doing. How do I get this out? But I still want to be a part of like a local church. I don't want to like not be a part of my church. I don't want to not be in North Carolina. And the thing came around, Bethel Music came around. They're like, we love what you're doing. We want to partner with it. You can be a part of this movement, but we want you to stay in Charlotte and stay there. And that was the plan. That was the goal. I remember talking with my pastor at the time, and I was like, this is amazing. You know, I talked to him about it, and I'm like, and I really was like, I want to get your blessing for this, because I'm not trying to like leave. I want to still be locked into I love what we're doing, our little community here. But this is a great avenue to like be able to get songs out and be able to you know, write songs for like the big C church, you know. And that's what it was for like a year. And during that year, I would go back and forth to California, and I would lead worship summit at the church there. And then I would jump on tours with Bethel Music, and it was great. But it was also like, I kept feeling my heart getting pulled a little bit that way. And just, you know, I wanted to keep pouring into my local church, but I could feel the momentum of the movement. Like it was just time to go to the next thing. And that was tough, but I will say, because that was your original question, was how was the transition? I'm going to turn my phone off real quick.
You're good.
Do you guys, does no one text you all day until you're doing the podcast?
Yeah.
The worst possible time, always.
Yeah,
no, everyone. It's like, oh, hey.
Yeah, that moon on the Apple has helped me out a lot with the do not bother me.
Just did that. So I finally was like, I feel like we're supposed to just move and be all in and do this. And there was a little bit of, I love Charlotte. I love my home state. I love being there. I was just there a few days ago. I went to the Hornets and Warriors game because I'm a big Steph Curry fan too. And, but there was this a little bit of a sense of, I think I need to move out of my home state and move out of my hometown to like fly and, you know, take off a little bit. And so it was just time, but it wasn't as crazy as what it seemed like. It was, you know, moving from North Carolina. I'm a country boy from North Carolina, moving all the way out to California. that sounds wild. And I was shocked at how easy the transition was. And I think it was multiple reasons. I think the Lord was just behind it, and it was just he was all over it, and it was time. I felt like we did it in a healthy way, and I'm still close with the church there that I was a part of. Yeah, I felt like it was just the Lord was on it, and it was time. Also, Northern California, not many people, you might not know this. It's very much like it's like the southern states. You just threw them up there in the north of North Carolina. It's very redneck up there.
Right.
So I was shocked at how much I fit in. I was like, oh wow.
My people.
Like, okay.
That's
yeah.
right.
It was very much my people. Not quite as like fake kind as they are in the South here,
Right.
but yeah, still redneck nonetheless.
Love it. I love it. Hey Josh, with songwriting you've done for so long and just powerful stuff. And I'm not going to ask you to pick one like your child, but all the songs you've picked, any favorite one that sticks out that says, hey man, this one really just the process, the whatever just really gripped you.
It's funny that you said that because I joke about that a lot when people ask me. It's like it is like picking your favorite child, which I only have 2 kids though, so
that's an easy pick.
That's easy, and
50, 50,
and I
50
have a girl and a boy, so
it's the daughter.
Yeah, it's my daughter. No, that's terrible. I hope my son, he doesn't listen to podcasts, so that's good.
Not yet. We'll get him to subscribe.
No, he's only 12. He does love golf. He's a lefty. Yeah, we play golf a lot. My favorite song, I think I kind of judge it, and there's songs, some of the ones that are, I feel like they're my favorite. Some of them are my favorite because maybe I'm not tired of them yet, and the new ones are always like really special to me. But there's also the ones that people haven't heard, so that's the thing. I think when I think my favorite song, I think, okay, what song have I written that people might know that I'm not tired of singing, and I don't know that I'll get tired of singing. And I think it's 2. I think there's Evidence is a song I wrote that I don't think I'll ever get tired of singing that song. And then Made for More, which is a newer one. And those are 2 songs that I don't know that I'll ever get tired of singing either one of those songs for multiple reasons, but they've just been so special to me in my personal life. And seeing how that's translated to other people listening. And it's just been so special. And so, yeah, I think
there's if I could tell the story, I hope it's okay that I tell you this. Our son is 5 now. He's born in 2020. And we were about 6 months in and went through like a traumatic fall down the stairs where I was holding him. We ended up being in the hospital and all this stuff. And I just happened to I'm like, I just need something in music wise. And I went seeking and searching music that would kind of be like a salve on like a painful time where he had a head injury. And it was just a scary time for our family. And I found the song, All I Really Want Is You.
Wow.
And I'll probably get emotional right now thinking about this because that got me through the toughest times when it came to like holding our son when we didn't know what would turn out. And he's fine now. It's all great. But that was such a pivotal, real.
Yeah.
Just when you talk about belting out words, that was not like contrived. Not the aim of your music is contrived. I'm just saying like it's not for CCM, Bill. It's just like the spontaneous song that really was medicine over kind of the stuff we've been going through. And it really hit me stronger than anybody else in our family. I was like, this is the one I need. And so that was such a cool thing because like I said, most people probably jump on it and they can tell you, oh yeah, my favorite Josh Baldwin song is this one. But that one always, man.
No one's ever said that one. You're the first.
That was undefeated. That EP is undefeated. That thing is, I can listen to it all over again.
That means so much. That song was that was just a spontaneous moment in worship. I was actually leading with one of my heroes, Darlene Check, who wrote Shout to the Lord.
Yeah.
We were leading at the worship school at Bethel. And I remember, I think that whole set. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just remembering back to all that.
Yeah.
I remember starting that day off in worship, and I just felt like before I even went into a song that I was going to go into, I mean, the worship school is like the easiest. We have a worship school at Bethel, and it's like, I mean, it's just worship leaders all over the world come and be there. So you don't have to be good at leading worship to lead worship there. You just start the song and people just go. And I remember that morning, I just felt like we needed to just sing. And I just started singing that. And we just kept singing it over and over. And then when we were working on the Live at Church EP, I found that moment. I was like, I have to put this on there. And I remember that song that was so special to me that I kept trying. I've tried multiple times to write other things, like to make that it's a song, like maybe that's the chorus, and let me write verses to it, because that's what I've done a lot. I have a lot of songs that people have probably heard, and maybe the chorus or the bridge came out in a spontaneous worship moment like that. And that one, for whatever reason, I can't find anything. And I think it's just supposed to be what it is. I think it's supposed to be that moment.
Well, it hit a moment, man. It's just cool. And it's even cool to hear that story, because like like you say, you don't hear many people mention even that song. It just, always just like had such a powerful moment in it. So thanks for doing that. And thanks for following the lead on
so
what the
much
Lord
to me. Thank you for sharing that.
So it's good. We're here in this golf thing that we're doing here with Restoration Club, and connecting people, and the faith, the journey, the events, the fun. I mean, golf is a blast, man.
Yeah.
And you mentioned you played like kind of growing up. Can you give us some like origin story of your golf journey?
Yeah. I'm very much a basketball guy. That's how I grew up. But my grandfather was big into golf, and that was how I got introduced into it when I was a kid. And I don't know why I didn't I would play with him, or I would hit the ball around. I remember being in his yard, and he got clubs cut down to fit to me. And I remember playing in the yard with him, but I never played like out on a course, like as a kid, from like 7 to 12, that age range. For whatever reason, I don't know. And I think it was always just like, it was my grandfather's game, and it was like, obviously it wasn't as popular with younger people as it is now. It's blown up, but it was always something that was so, just like sacred to me and everything. It's probably something that was because of my grandfather. He died when I was 9 or 10. And then my grandmother remarried, and when she remarried my step grandfather, who was also a massive golf fan, probably even bigger golf fan and player than my grandfather, and was better. And then he would make clubs. I remember he made me some of my first clubs, and made me this 3-wood that I still had until a few years ago. And I would still hit it until a few years ago. It was horrible. I mean, it was fine, but it was bad.
We're talking persimmon wood here? Is that what we're talking about?
No, it wasn't wood, but I might as well then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember. So I would play with him, and then through high school, I never played like golf in high school, which I regret that so much to this day. Just like, why? I loved it, but I would play it. I mean, I loved baseball, and in my hometown, it was either you play baseball or you play golf. And just back then, it was like, why would you not play baseball? It was just, you're in a baseball town, like, just wasn't the thing. None of my buddies were playing golf. And but I would still go play golf a lot with my friends, and played all in my teens. And I was decent. I was okay. I wasn't good, but I wasn't like horrible, And so I just always had a relationship with it growing up, and mainly around my grandfather's. And yeah, and then in my 20s, living in Charlotte, I would play. I would but I never had friends. I had one friend, Lee Worley. I don't know if either of you know him.
Name sounds familiar.
I know that name very well.
Do you know Randall Worley? He's actually a pastor or a speaker. He travels, but Lee is his son. Lee's one of my best friends, and he was like one of my own. Lee's actually a worship leader at Seacoast Church in Charleston.
Yeah.
But Lee was like my only golf friend, because all my friends were musicians in Charlotte, and nobody played sports. No musicians played sports in Charlotte except for me and Lee. And so we would play golf some. And then, I went through a season where I didn't play as much because I just didn't have friends to play with. All my buddies were musician guys and didn't do sports. And then I moved to California, and I had a couple friends, Paul McClure and another friend, who are worship leaders out there, and they are big golfers. And so that was where I was like, okay, my people. And I jumped back into it hardcore. And Joe Volk, our mutual friend, he is a golfer buddy of mine. And the 2020 hit, and everybody started playing golf. So that's
Do you
when
carry clubs on tour?
Yes, that was a big thing too. We take clubs on tour. We Yeah, it's great. I've gotten to play some really cool courses on tour because you just go out and every pastor at a church or one of the one of the lead, they know like a guy who's a part of the nicest country club and they want to take you out. And I've gotten to play a lot of cool courses with random pastors all through the country. I'm actually playing I'm going so in Jacksonville. I'm leading worship at a church there for Easter, and I'm playing Sawgrass.
Normal.
You're gonna have to
Yeah.
report back what happens on
I
17.
know.
Yeah, let us know
I'm
about
so
17.
nervous. I'm so nervous.
We're praying for you.
But yeah, little things like that. So it's been so good, and I've loved it. And it's the more I mean, I've played basketball my whole life, and even up until a few years ago, I'd play like multiple times a week. But I've started.
That's impressive.
I know, yeah, especially at my age. And here's the thing, guys. I still have a shot. I can still shoot. I'm out of shape, but
I mean,
The legs aren't there, but you still got
the legs aren't there. But I got a quick release.
Anybody stick with you on this that you're wet in the jumper or what?
Yeah, no, there's tons of people. I can text them right now. It's not, and I'm very confident. I'm a pretty humble guy until it comes to basketball, and then I talk a lot of junk.
Trigger is taped down.
I don't even talk junk playing. Sometimes I talk junk playing golf, but I'm not good enough. I shouldn't talk junk playing golf, but I do talk junk playing basketball. But yeah, it's kind of transitioned into golf because I can't get hurt. I don't want to get hurt I don't want to get hurt playing basketball and then have to, be on crutches, trying to travel and get on a bus or whatever. But yeah,
that's good to know. Amazing. I was going to say, I still need to talk to your tour manager and figure out why your only North Carolina stop is the same night as another Christian music artist happening here. But if you need to catch a round when you're rolling through, Ryan and I know.
I know. I forgot. You told me that. That's funny, Force. I know. He'll have a lot more people. There'll be a lot more people that night at that show than mine.
What, Josh, you mentioned some of the places you played. Give us,
go
ahead. You can course drop.
I mean, now I haven't played like Pebble, nothing like that.
Oh, who knows, man? Who knows?
I wish one day. Maybe.
But what have been your favorite? Let's say your three favorites that you've been. It doesn't even have to be. They don't need to be a famous thing. Or just where you've just really loved it.
I played Colonial. That was awesome. I actually have. I'm a dork. I saved the ball. I played Colonial. I shot a 90, but let me see. No, it's not that one. Yeah,
trinkets everywhere over there.
Yeah, little trinkets. This is the ball. I played Colonial, and I shot a 90, but I didn't lose my ball. I played one ball the whole time.
Yes,
and here it is.
There you go.
Love to see it.
3 Pro V1.
Wow, you see another name drop. Pro V1.
The Pro V1. Which is funny because
for a Vice guy,
I don't
know why. But.
I know. Well, you know what? I do love like Vice, and I love all these other, kind of the cheaper brand things. But then this is like in my little drawer here. I have like my best rounds, and my best rounds are like Pro V1, TP5 picks. So I was like, should I just be playing the nice balls, or was I just playing good that day?
Listen, this might be it.
Yeah, it might be that. Hey, I love. Okay, Colonial. That was just really special to see, like the Ben Hogan statue and all that. There's some. Well, I do a golf trip every year with some other worship leader buddies of mine.
I was going to ask you to break some more details on that and who was involved. Is this an annual thing? Is this just spur of the moment?
It is an annual thing. We go to Cabo, and it all started. I'll just do the name dropping.
You're good.
I knew I was going to do it. I got to do it. If I can't, I can't, I have to do it here. I can't.
Yeah, we've asked.
Yeah. And this is all about golf. So back in 2020, I'm in a text thread with some buddies. Pat Barrett is a worship leader. He wrote a little song called Good, Good Father, Fill My Life. And Cody Carnes, Brian Torwald, Paul McClure, Lee Worley, who I talked about earlier. Go Volk, our mutual friend. And then Mac Brock, who's not a golfer at all, but a fellow charlatan.
Would he say he's not a golfer?
No,
I don't want to out Mac.
No, he would say he's definitely not a golfer.
But he's a Cabo San Lucas
guy. But he's just a friend.
Aren't we all?
We all are in this group text together because of a fantasy football league.
Nice.
And so 2020 rolls around and none of us are traveling. It's been, the year that we all had, and we're like all home, and then we're all playing golf a lot. And a lot of, like, me and Paul and Lee had always been playing golf. And then all of our other guys, Pat and Cody, they all jumped in it. this year, like everybody else in the world. And so then we're thinking like we should do like a guy's golf trip because we haven't traveled at all. Like usually we would never ask to do this because what we travel for a living. We're not going to ask our wives for a golf trip like this. They're like, you travel with your friends all the time. But this year that was the year we felt like we could get away with it. And Pat, we chose Cabo because Pat's family his grandmother has a house in Cabo, having nothing to do with any of our jobs. His grandmother just has had a house there for 30 years. So he's like, let's all go there and we can stay at the house for free. We all travel for a living. We have tons of miles to just throw on that. So it's like, okay, let's do it. And our wife said yes. We did a 2-day Cabo trip, playing golf all day for 2 days. And that was 2020. And they have let us do it every year in December since. And so we just had our 5th. I think this was just our 5th or 4th. Yeah, 5th. This next year will be our 6th one. But we played a couple courses in Cabo, Puerto Los Cabos, and then Rancho San Lucas, which is also called Somar, which is amazing. And those are probably my 2 favorite courses I've ever played. Somar is like, I mean, you're literally on the beach. I mean, it's just sand and water, and then just like the greenest, craziest fairway. It's like, how do you even do that?
Yeah, that's incredible.
Pretty amazing.
How do you guys listen, here's the secret. How do you do it every year? Tell us more.
We just put it in the calendar, and our wives haven't said no yet. It's just like in the calendar to do it. I think they know. At this point, it's the thing we all look forward to every year, and it's just, I think they all know how special it is.
You've publicly spoken about it now. They can't walk back.
Yeah, we can't go back. No wife wants to be the one that ended the whole thing. I mean, not all of us get to go every year. But there's 6 of us that go every year.
Isn't it great though? Like, this is something we've talked a lot with Restoration Club, when wives recognize when men are around, like their husbands are around really good guys. Like, golf's not such a bad thing. Yeah, it takes time and those types of things, but they're like, I come back typically from being with good people better. And that's totally our goal, is like, let the event or let the round together be something that like brings life, and not just as an escape from kids or life, but really it's an iron sharpening session it's deeper than just the game.
100%. And I think even that trip this past year was very much that way. We were going through, we were just had some big life decisions to make, and with as far as music and just what we're going to do. And I remember my wife, Sheila, it was right before I was going on this trip. She knew I was going to hang out with the guys, but they were all like, Pat and Cody, they all do what I do, and we all are in this together. And that was one thing. She was like, I just feel like, babe, you should, you need to spend these couple of days and talk with the guys about all this. And I remember right now, close my eyes, like I'm on the green, the
take us back
18th green on Somar, talking to Pat and Cody about what do I do about this certain thing with music stuff. And I just remember the advice they both gave me. I remember going and then sitting in the golf cart. I remember, and I took that, and a month later we made some big decisions, and it's been amazing. But it's that, it's not just about the golf and getting away and bros hanging and bros being dudes and all that, or dudes being bros, whatever it is. But it is really like the get together with your friends who help each other and strengthen each other, and the iron sharpening iron thing. It's been really sweet.
Josh, somewhat in that same vein, I saw you and your boy made the trip to Charlotte. I don't blame you for deciding to make the trip to see Steph Curry and not just the Hornets. Unfortunately, we're hurting over here. But with knowing that you've also shared, playing with him, you already spoke on him enjoying the game.
Yeah.
What is the intentionality of being a dad, and whether it's using golf or otherwise, like those shared experiences, how has that kind of impacted your relationship with him?
It's been so good. He loves sports, but not quite like I did. I lived and breathed, but that's all I wanted to do and cared about. And still to this day, it's sports and then music for me. I mean, honestly, I joke, but it really literally is.
We grew up in the Alonzo, Larry Johnson, Muggsy era, so come on.
Seriously. He's somewhat, he loves sports, I think, in a lot of ways because I do. But he didn't care about playing it as much, but golf is something he does like to play and enjoy. And so it's been something where we'll just go, like I got him a new set of clubs not long ago, and then we'll go down the driving range down here, and then there's a par 3 course close, and we'll just go out there and hit. And I've also learned, like, he's like me in that, like, short fuse sometimes, just like done with it, and golf is, gosh, it's so hard. I mean, and it's just, there's so many chances to just, like, for life lessons out there with golf. And I've loved that part of it, to be able to just be like, yeah, buddy, you just gotta, you gotta brush that off. Like, forget about that, do all, move on to the next thing, and just think, but don't think too far ahead, and don't think too far behind. Like, don't think about the last shot, and don't think too far ahead to the next, just. And so I love that. And I think I just love the part of it that it's like, you're just being together outside too, just the practical, like, being outside together with your son. It's just, the other day we've actually just started watching the new season of Full Swing. And that's been fun, because I know, I keep up with golf, so I know everything that's happened in that season, and he's learning it kind of, and he knows somewhat of it because he kept up with me. But we were watching that, but then every night we'd watch it. He's like, Dad, I want to go play golf tomorrow. It's like started that, like, fire in him again. He's like, because we hadn't played in a while, it's been cold, and he's like, I want to go play again. So then we finally went. I was like, let's go to the driving range tomorrow. And so we went to the driving range and just hung out, hit balls. And then that turned into, I think it was a Friday night, that turned into, like, my wife texting, and it's like, hey, Ellie and I, my daughter, we ate something here at the house. Do you and Bear just want to eat, eat together? So I was like, yeah. And so we ended up just going back to the clubhouse and just ate there together, and made a whole night of it. And it was like, this is so sweet. I love this. Like, there's not many other sports that you can do that with. You can go play basketball or whatever, but it's a whole thing, and you're running around. But to just be able to play a sport, but also just be together and just talk. And then golf is such a relational thing where it's hard to, you don't just play golf. You do that, and then you go on to the fellowship part of it, the sitting down and eating or whatever. And I love that about it.
Love it. It's kind of like what, wasn't it Patrick Harrington who was talking about when he takes his kids out on the course, and he was just like, hey, if they just want to go 2 holes, that's fine.
Yeah, totally.
Let them enjoy it. After it, make sure you get ice cream, like that kind of thing, where you make that experience an enjoyable process. So that way it's not always like Dad's just slamming his 7-iron into the ground. He's like, oh, that's what it is. Not that you would ever do that, I'm sure.
No, never.
For those of us who have failed like that before.
I've never thrown a club into a creek.
Name the location.
Brentwood Country Club. I have a Kirkland 56 in the creek of that
there
club.
You go.
Yeah.
That's a question we've never asked anybody right here. What's in the bag?
What's in the bag? Oh, wow. You guys don't do what's in the bag? That's
cliche, man.
It is cliche.
First, what's in the bag?
Well, you got to do that. No, I looked around, like, my clubs are up here. There's not. I do have one putter up here. What's in the bag? I have, okay, let's start. What do we start with? Putter first or driver?
Let's start with your driver.
Driver down.
Driver is a Ping G425 Max. I got the weight set into the draw bias because I'm a 10 handicap, so I'm gonna slice a little bit.
You're not working the power fade?
Not work. I mean, it does. No, I do work the power fade.
Unintentional
with the draw bias. Listen, I can crush it. I can get a hold of it, but yeah. And speaking of 10 handicap, I got it down to 8 last year. Let that be known, and then it's back up to
single digits.
Yeah,
Let's
I got
go.
down to single digits for a hot minute. Okay, that I have a SimMax 3-wood that I'm about to go get fitted for new woods and driver. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I want some good 3-wood, a good 3-wood and a good driver. I mean, I love my driver. I wouldn't mind getting at least the 10K max. Is that a thing? Yeah, 430 10K. And then okay, irons are the TaylorMade, the P790s. I have those. I got fitted for those. And then wedge, I have.
Was that singular?
I have the K-Sig. I have the K-Sig Gen 2s. They're the Kirkland Sigs.
I love that.
Gen 2. And listen, I can spin those things.
So casual. So casual.
Yeah, K-Sig Gen 2. I can spin those like
Yeah.
crazy. That's 60. I can stop it and scoot it back. But I did recently. I just got a 56 Tacoma 56 wedge.
Okay.
And because they're so nice and they're so cheap. It's
Yeah.
like, why not try them out?
Yeah.
And I
like
loved it. I played
was
it the other day for the first time, and I really
Yeah.
like it.
Nice.
And I think I might get some Tacoma irons just for the heck of it.
And if anybody from Tacoma's listening, I suggest you call Josh and
Call me up. Grant Horvat. Give me a call.
Investor. He needs to pad the investment.
I know. Right. I'm going to message him.
That'd be good. We'll tag him on the social post.
Please tag him. And then, my putter. Oh gosh, love, hate.
Yeah.
So I have rocked my Ping Answer 2 putter for like 2 years, the blade. And I liked it, and I was putting decent with it, and then bad. And then when I was like starting to like want a new putter, I started putting great with it, which is like, it's like it knows. It's like, I know you're looking at someone else, and I'm going to be in my best behavior. But I still went to another putter, and I bought the lab putter, the DF.
I was going to ask. Yeah. Wow.
And I bought it. I played with it once on a par 3 course, and I loved it. And then I went to the Cabo trip, and I putted the worst I've ever put in my life.
You had big decisions to make. There was reasons.
Gosh, yeah. It was bad. It was so bad. So with Cabo, we do like a tournament thing, and I have never won. I've finished second every year, and I've like every year I know the hole where I lost it all, like every year. And this year, literally, the putter lost it for me. And we've had multiple winners. People have gone up and down. But your boys just stayed second.
Eddie, this guy.
I'm always number 2. There's only one guy better than me every year. But yeah, I have the DF3, which I'm liking it more and more. So yeah, awesome. That was very long. That took me a while. Sorry. Now I understand why you don't do the what's in the bag.
Half the pod.
Well, no one ever just says I have the one line through there.
We're not sponsored here. Yeah.
No,
but I love it. It's a good thing. So you said you're a 10.
Yeah.
So that's a fun time, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm a 10, but you can tell there's like potential for me, you know.
Yeah. I love that.
I just have I have like 1 or 2 blow up holes. That's it.
Those things do sneak up.
Yeah.
And again, they're life lessons.
I am your signature. My buddies say that. They're like, Josh is like your signature, like he just triple bogeyed. And like you're all texting your boys like, Josh just triple bogeyed. He's like blowing up over here. And then the next hole, Josh just drove the green on a par 4, and he has a 10-foot putt for eagle. Like that's me. Like I'm like the highest of highs and lowest of lows.
Fair enough.
I can relate.
Yeah.
I can relate. Well, yeah, Josh, we'll get you out of here. This is our favorite question we like to ask to close everything out. So want to ask you, what is your favorite memory on a golf course not involving a golf club?
Not involving a golf club. My goodness.
See,
what does that even mean, though? Not involving not me.
We don't want you to relive your favorite shot. We don't want you to relive the putt you missed to losing Cabo. We want you to kind of lean into what is that moment you remember most about just being on a golf course?
I mean, it probably was on one of the Cabo trips. I'm just trying to think of which story I could tell you. You could probably edit this down to make it quicker, can't you?
100%.
So great. I mean, there's so many little ones. I think, well, that one involves a shot. I mean, it's not my shot.
If it helps you, our last guest talked about going and hunting balls in the trees with his dad
when he was a kid, like that kind of stuff. Or somebody asked their girlfriend's father for her hand in marriage. Like that kind of stuff. So those, it's all over the board. Or the first walk onto a certain place. You know what I mean? Like it might have been when you saw Solmar, the green for the first. You're like, whoa, like that kind of stuff.
I mean, I think it's every year. Well, I will say. Our Cabo trip that we do every year, it's really special. And I think every year, like my favorite thing about it is the opening tee, because we do 2 days in a row, we do 36 holes each. So we open up each day. We're the first ones on the tee. So it's like the sun's coming up, and it usually is that at Solmar at that course where walking out on that first tee, and it's like all 6 or 7 of us out there together. It's like that opening time, like the day one, we're just all together, and we're just like, we've been waiting all year for that. And I
How
think
early
that's
does the
like
text
my
thread
most
start, or
favorite.
is that year round for you guys?
But it's year round. I mean, we're going right now. I think I got a text from them. Yes, I do. I have a text in here right now from the guy. It's called the Golden Poncho. So the winner every year gets, literally, we have a golden and black and gold poncho
Instead
that
of
the
a green
winner,
jacket,
Who
it's a
needs a green
instead of
jacket?
a green jacket, it's a golden poncho, and it has, your name. If you win, your name is embroidered in it, and then you get to have it for that year. And so the thread's called the Golden Poncho.
That's awesome.
Man,
2025 is your year, I have a feeling.
I feel like it is.
we're just
I feel
gonna
like
say it
is.
now.
And here's the thing: once they let me win, I might not give it back.
No, well, I know you just keep it rolling.
The 10's gonna be to 5 and then 2 at that point.
The problem is when it gets lower, it's worse for me. Like they'll keep track, and my buddies will be like, "Dude, what are you shooting? Are you entering in all your scores?"
Nice.
Yes, I am.
Sandbagging. I love it. But Josh, thanks, man. Just
Thank you.
not only for the walk down, your golf experience, even listening to you talking about being a dad, or your relationship with your wife, or these close friends that you have, but also just what you do for the kingdom, man. Like you've been a loud voice for hope and for good in this world, and we're thankful for that and your time. It's been valuable.
Much.
So thanks for coming to the clubhouse with us, and we appreciate you. And if we're in Nashville, trust me, we're coming. And when you come back to Charlotte, you let us know, and we'll.
I was just gonna say, you and Bear might need to be scheduling, if you're not on tour, scheduling a trip for the PGA Championship out this way.
And I know that's right. Yeah, we need to make it happen. Yeah, I'd love that. Thanks so much for having me on. It's so fun to get to talk about golf and just sports, and this is
and listen, joy. This is my plea. Let's knock the dust off the Good at Sports podcast. I need it's been almost 2 years. We're a year and a half.
We've been thinking about it. We've been knocking it around and talking about. We were actually texting today about it, me and Max.
You talk about your love for your Panthers still. You stay you stay so loyal.
I know.
So loyal.
We're still there. We're fighting. We're fighting. We have hope.
Barely. We're hoping. That's what we need. That's good. But thanks again, man. We appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, man. Cool. Appreciate making it happen.
Hey, what? So Jeff, how is Jeff associated with? Because
we actually had to catch up with him today and told him we were going to be on with you, and he's like, I've never yet played. I'm going to botch it. Is it Towie? I don't want to mess it up for the Tennessee faithful, but yeah, he just said like, we've never been able to play, and we live so close to each other.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to even remember how we became Instagram friends. But I think I think I posted something about playing there, and he started following me, and then I saw his stuff. We just got, and I followed him, and it was just that. And then randomly, Dude Perfect, we were at a Dude Perfect thing that we had both gotten tickets to through mutual friends. And I didn't recognize him just because we were just Instagram friends. And he was like, "Hey, I'm Jeff and I was like, "Oh my gosh, you are!" And so we actually met in person once. And then every time he's ever talked about, we have in the group text on Instagram about playing golf. I've never been able to do it. Yeah. But yeah, then that was my original like introduction into knowing about Restoration Club. And then, And then
he kind of he was the origin for the idea.
Okay.
And then connected with Danny and Dave Baisden. I don't know if you know Dave at all. He's a golf artist. Dave
was originally Charlotte. He's in High Point now, but he's a well-known like golf painter in the game.
Wow.
So that idea of just kind of cultivating this, and that then Danny introduced me to what it was, 3 years ago. And I felt the Lord really moved.
Yeah.
It was an insane story about it, how I even found out about it. And then it just moved quickly. And then we just kept getting active, and we lit up a podcast and got a Discord channel going, then do events every year, those types of things, and do local meetups. That's that Tennessee stuff. That's that local meetup. And we do them in Charlotte. They do them all over the country. So the idea was just giving guys a space and a place to kind of just be, whatever. It doesn't matter if you're a 20 or a +2.
Yeah.
This is a place you can come out and have a good time, but also you're going to walk away better. That's our goal every single time.
Awesome.
So
Yeah, I think he reached out to. That was one. I still regret this. He reached out to me and maybe Corey Asbury about doing something.
I think
And
we at one point we wanted to
Yeah.
do maybe more of a in-depth
Yeah.
on-course like video with you guys telling your story and like how you got introduced to the game.
Yeah,
and we knew it was going to be a challenge to pull that off, which is why we wanted to find a way to get you on here.
Oh, there was something else, maybe a conference or something, a retreat.
Was that the Stream Song Marriage Conference?
Song.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like down to do it. And
we actually ended up having to dissolve it kind of not last minute, but we ended up not making it happen. But we'd love to do it because we've done a few.
Let me know.
Yeah.
That's good. No, it's been great. And even golf, like, well, Dottie, talking about Dottie earlier, she like loves the Lord and loves Christian music. And
that's awesome.
I got to know her through stuff. And then I went up to her. She asked me if I'd come up to their house, and her husband, David, had like a private, just like worship night event in their backyard. And I just led worship.
That's awesome.
Like 100 people and hung out.
So good. Yeah, Jeff obviously is ingrained at a high level into the game, and I actually have a background in working in the game, and I think he maybe more so than me just saw like the professional game can kind of be a dark place, and so we just said like we love this game, why don't we find a way to create community and either introduce guys to Jesus through it if they're already willing to play. And the reality is, I'm sure you see this all the time, like we hope the local church has a really strong men's ministry, but that's not always the case. And some guys feel more comfortable showing up to the course and meeting people that way. And we've seen that a ton already, which has been a lot of fun.
It's so cool. And there's so many believers in like professional golf now. And too, you see like, I mean, Scotty and all the, I mean, like, it's just, it's so special. And I'm a big YouTube golf nut, like everybody. And
without a doubt.
All those guys, Grant and the Bryan brothers.
I'm a Mad Jack guy, guys.
I do. I love
Busta Jack Golf. Give it to him.
I love them too. Gosh,
I
watch all of them. And me and Cody and those guys messaged some of the like Grant and the Bryan brothers because we all shaved our beards this last time for Cabo and just had the mustache. And
that's right. That's right.
We sent I sent a little group text thing to George Bryan about
he's always sporting
mustache, and he sent one back. He was like, "Go get him, hit him, get." So it's so cool. Like all those guys, like they love the Lord and they listen to worship. And I was watching one of the YouTube things, Grant and Bryan brothers, and they were singing one of Cody's songs. Yeah, and I like texted him. I was like, "Dude," and we're like freaking out, like, "Oh my God!" And they're like freaking out because like Cody knows who they are. And I'm like, are you kidding?
That's awesome.
That's all we want to do is play golf with you.
Yeah.
So funny.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
what a world.
sweet.
Yeah. It's just
crazy.
cool to blend things you love, right? Where it just is. And we have seen, I like the Lord really show up and change people and really be an impact in this. And the space is hungry for something deeper. And we know what that hunger really is. But what's really cool is that even in those darker sides, like, walking the path right, man, they will say, what's different about that person? Let's get around them. And it just happens. It's pretty cool.
You can feel it. You can feel it with those guys. I mean, with those guys, like, I mean, I see it with like those YouTube guys, like Grant and those guys. You can feel like the Lord's on them and like people are drawn to them and they don't know why. And I'm like, dude, you're drawn to the Lord. Like, there's Jesus is in him and you feel it.
I think Grant just did an interview about that. He was just talking about, because he was at a college golf fellowship retreat with the Bryan Bros and Scotty.
I started following those. I mean, I never even play golf in college, but those guys, I just started following all that. I'm just like all in. I love I love golf, but I just, like we were saying, I love what the Lord's like doing and all that. It just, you can feel like there's something going on in that space. And
we have an annual Builders Cup event where we try to get away for a long weekend and play a bunch of rounds. And the first one we did, which Ryan was at too, we had, I admittedly was kind of like, I don't know how this is going to work, but one guy said like, I can only come if my wife comes. And I was like, she wants to come hang out with a bunch of guys. And she plays golf too. But even that night, we were just kind of talking about like vision and what we want this to be and what people see in it. And she was like, honestly, like if I knew my husband was going around you guys on a golf trip and it looks like this, like I'd say like, yeah, please go. So that was kind of like a cool affirmation that we're hoping other guys get as we talk about wives not pulling the plug on the golf trips.
Yeah, right. Well, I don't want to keep you guys. I know it's later your time.
Oh yeah. Jeez, look at that. It did. It happened. Not fast, but
Sunlight's coming after this weekend, guys. Sunlight's coming.
We'll run it
Right.
back in season 4, and you'll be
Yeah.
you'll be a +1 at that.
I'll
point.
get it down to single digits for season 4.
That's what it's going to take.
Yeah.
Maybe we do a live from Cabo. Danny and I come and do the podcast live.
I
We'll
honestly,
just cycle you guys through.
We're MCs who are like,
Yeah,
hello.
Concourse analyst.
guys,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be hard for me to get one of my boys on here for this. Like,
Yeah.
these are the fun podcasts. This is my 3rd podcast or interview today, and it's been my favorite. I was looking forward to it because all the other ones I just had to talk about music and worship and all that, which I love. That's my life. But like,
Sure.
this was like,
Josh,
I mean, this is why we did Good at Sports, because it was like a release of like, our hobbies and our fun.
if there's I think it would be easy for you to say, oh yeah, this is probably who the best golfer is in Cabo. Who's besides Mac? We already know that.
Mac's
Who's the worst
worst.
golfer minus Mac? Clip this.
Brian Torwalt, probably. It just overall, Brian crushes the ball.
Yeah.
He does hit long drives, but after that, it's annoying because he's like streaky. He'll play the worst, but then he'll be the one that like gets a chip in.
Yeah.
Or something dumb like that.
Yeah.
It drives everybody crazy.
But that's golf, right? That's kind of like the lesson you have for Bear. It's like, hey, this is what happens. You can be over in the trees one moment and across the water the next. Next thing you know, it's still a par.
No,
it's crazy.
Do I remember correctly? You tried to out Cody and show a terrible shot, and you had to redeem him and actually show he can play.
I did. He was upset about that. I was like, I don't know, play better.
Right.
I don't know what to tell you, Cody.
Good reference.
We're going to Macklemore in
Nice.
a couple weeks for Cody's birthday.
Nice.
Me, Cody, Joe, Vogue,
Yeah.
and Pat Barrett.
Send me a picture of 18.
18,
man.
please.
I want to
I
see
haven't
that
been
so
there.
bad. I've just seen photos of 18 so much. It's like, can't even do justice.
I'm excited. Cody's
Have you done Sweetens yet?
like 2 weeks ago? This Sunday will be 2 weeks.
That's
I
awesome.
played it with another worship leader buddy of mine, Ben Hastings.
Yeah. Love Ben.
Ben's a really good golfer. I mean, he's an Irishman.
Yeah. They'll get you.
He's a good golfer. Me and him went and played. And that
He would
was
love Sweetens then.
Yeah,
that was
style.
fun. We walked it. We walked 18. We were gonna do more, but we didn't get there till late. But it was fun.
That's cool.
fun.
We've been trying to line up an event out there and do something similar. See if we can have somebody come lead some worship and hang out there.
Man, well, give me a
We'll
text.
keep you posted.
Yeah.
We won't call Corey. I'll tell you that.
Don't call Corey. Listen, Corey doesn't even know where Sweetens is. I guarantee you.
Sweet and low. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
he's like, what?
That's
Sweet
awesome.
Corey.
Yeah. That's good.
Well, y'all.
Cool, man.
Let us know.
All
Yeah.
right.
Appreciate you.
Thanks so much for having me on. This was fun.
We'll get it back. And if there is, as you're talking to your crew, if there's anybody else that wants to ever have a chat, we'd love to keep the party going. A little bit more trash talk they could bring. We do bring a group one out. We can do a bunch of people and just say, hey, this is the pre. We do it in December.
Oh, that would be
the
fun.
Cabo pre-show.
That would
get
be
it all
fun.
fired up. Get everybody
Before and after.
They might. I don't know if they're going to be happy about me talking about our trip or mad sometimes.
Well, you didn't give any insights.
I was trying to. It doesn't always. I had one friend be like, I think year one we were like all posting pictures about it and stuff, and because we were just pumped, and he was like, "Dude, it's not a great look when all you worship leaders are in Cabo playing golf together." And
I take it he
I was
wasn't in
like,
Cabo with you.
No,
That's usually.
I was like, dude, we're not like it's Pat's grandmother's house. Like, no, we didn't pay for any of this with big worship songs or anything. I know it looks like that, and then I was like, okay, so we just don't post about it and don't talk about it anymore because we don't want it to look a certain way. But
I get it.
But
what are you supposed to be doing in mid-December? I mean, come on.
Yeah, like what do you know?
That's awesome.
We're all good. We're good people. We love Jesus. Leave
Amen.
us alone.
Amen.
All right. Well, yeah. Let me know. I'll do whatever.
Okay. That's all.
Sounds good.
This is what
Yeah,
we're
that
talking
works.
about.
Careful.
No, that's done. That's on the. I got
It's
that one
still recording.
That's still recording.
Actual recording.
Says I'll do whatever.
It'll be the lead in to the episode.
Yeah. Let me know. I'll do whatever. Restoration Club.
There you go. I love it.
Tonight
man.
on a very special Restoration Club. I'll be on tour during the Masters, and I can't believe I did that.
We got to
Yeah.
schedule these things better.
No,
Listen,
I know.
Your shows are at night. You can still watch them.
I know. Well, I was trying to. Dottie text me, and she was like, "Why did you make your tour during the match?" And I was like, "Were you gonna get me to the like? Are you saying that?"
Yeah, what are you trying to say, Dottie?
Well, Josh, let me just put this out there since you would do anything. for the Restoration Club. Come on, brother. Let's
get Dottie. Oh, I mean, she said, okay, I have a text here. Let me look here. Literally right after I got off my live, she said, you crushed it. And I love the guys you're doing the pod with. So I don't know if she
Dottie?
knows. Yeah, she must know your stuff.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'll ask her if she wants to be on your pod.
It'd be cool. I mean, I think it'd be a great conversation.
She's awesome. She's the sweetest person, and just, yeah.
It'd be groundbreaking, the first female to actually come into this.
Really?
Like
it would. It really would.
Condoleezza Rice.
Yes. Gosh. So true. She is her husband David has a PhD in golf historian or something.
That's a thing?
Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. Like he went to Oxford. It's something nuts. I think I'm getting that right. She'll tell you all about it.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Kind of nuts.
It's incredible.
All right, I should go. I'm gonna go help put the kids to bed.
Yeah.
No, I hear you. Man. Thanks, man.
Appreciate you
guys.
Talk to you.
All this.
Thanks, Josh.
See ya.
Later.
All right, man. That's season 3, episode 3. Josh Baldwin. Man, just exciting to get these guys rolling through. Having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I feel like we just keep having such a good, profound set of people coming out of this thing. They just stories, their connections, they're just great people to talk to. And I think that's what makes this Restoration Club thing possible and really worth it, is just by having people like that involved.
Totally agree, man. Will we find ourselves in Cabo come December?
Who knows? Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
I'll take it. Well, guys, as always, we hope you're enjoying these as well. Follow us at restoration_club on Instagram, restorationclub.co, the website. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, definitely subscribe there. Listen on all the podcast platforms. We appreciate you guys. Until next time, keep swinging.
Keep swinging.